Hello and welcome to, well, I don't have a name for this show yet, but it's surely a show about Anlia. I'm about to show you, well, I'll tell you what playlist I'll probably put this in. Probably a new one, actually. Anlian, oh wait, Zoom classes, of course. Zoom classes. I already have that one. So let's see. I'm just gonna go share my screen. Oh wait, no. And the materials are on Facebook. So I just go to my own page. How does a farmer start a sentence on the beach? Well, I reckon. All right, so about, no, photos. Albums. And where is it? It's not in many index. It's not City Boat Home. I have that on YouTube. See right there. In Anlia, that whole show is on YouTube. Camp Parable. I might keep that private. I don't know. I might decide to not keep it private later. Pixel Fractometry. The basic rule. Wait. What is pixel fractometry? You can use it to power the kaleidoscopic atomic printer. It's where the word kaleidoscopic in the name kaleidoscopic atomic printer comes from. It compresses data into codons, where one codon is a 4-pixeled image, such as this, and then these letters are represented by links to other codons. So you have a these letters are represented by links to other codons. So basically what happens when you do this, or what happens when you create a codon with another codon inside it, is you take the smaller codon, make that image with the printer with out of atoms, then put that image through a kaleidoscope so it fills the entire page, and then you block out all the duplicates that do not correspond to that image on the higher level. So there are multiple possible bases for this, but I really go with the Sierpinski base. most of all. Square base, just I thought it would be typical. You can use the Sierpinski base to easily translate into different base tessellations, as I'll show you soon. This is a basic. Oh yeah, sorry, the basic rule. Any tessellation can be encoded as a fractal image. So that's a whole one of these things. So this is the base. This is a square base. And what we're trying to encode is a rectangular base. So what you have to do is find the greatest common multiple, or no, the least common multiple of each of the dimensions of this space, which are this tessellation and this base. You're finding the least common multiple of each of the dimensions of this tessellation and this space. And then actually I think this is the base. Finding the least common multiple of each thing of this tessellation and this base. And that's that you put two of these bases on top of each other, because the least common multiple of 2 and 4 is 4, and the least common multiple of 3 and 2 is 6. So then you have this. You have this base here, which is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, no, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. And then level 1, you set the level 1, you set these levels. I can't read that. The image is too bad. But you basically just take each one of these 2x2 squares, and you name it. And then you go up one level. So you have the names of these, and you have to put the same, you have to put the names of these in the same base here. And then you take the and then you put two of them on top of each other again. 2 and 2, least common multiple of 2 and 2 is 2. Least common multiple of 3 and 2 is 6. So then the last level you can just repeat. You've got ABC, so you've got ABC, 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 and that makes A, B, and C. So you can just do the same. You just do the same function over and over again to get higher and higher into the levels of magnification. So this is how you take the triangular base and you turn it into any other base that you want. And that's and the codons in the triangular base are called R, G, B, and C. They're named after red, green, blue, and camera, which is what you would have in the holographic wall of the PIM. But that's not what's going on here. It's just named after that. What's going on here is that atoms are being placed there. So with a hexagon, the simplest way is to take these. You see there are these hexagons here and here. You could also put a cross in the middle going like this, and that would go through all of them, not just every other one. But that wouldn't function for cases where every part of the hexagon is different. Which is why I put this one here. I put this one here. You've got, so let's see, you've got ABA, 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 and, or you've got AABA, AABA, actually, let's see, RGBC, AAAB, 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 and BBA. And then you can take these ones with all B's on the corners and turn them into a B, and take the ones with all A's on the corners and label them an A. And in order to keep going up, you can just take the same pattern, BBA. You take the same pattern, BBBA equals B, and AAAB equals A, and then keep repeating that as you go up in the levels of magnification, as you did in the other example. Now, rectangular. This doesn't make square. Square will come later because it's because this makes something that has irrational dimensions, and irrational dimensions are something that are dealt with later. So this one, A, is this one with a line through it, the vertical line through it, and B is this one with the no line through it. And as you can see, all of the codons in here are 2 A's and 2 B's. 2 A's up and down, 2 B's left and right. And so you can just write AAAA equals that and repeat that. These go first and then A. Triangular was already triangular. And that's all the bases that you can make a tessellation in 2 dimensions. 3 dimensions we'll get to later. Numerical fractometry, that's something that something I messed with. It doesn't help you with the Stardust printer. I was trying to enmesh it in somehow. It doesn't. I can't think of a way to connect it, so I'm just gonna skip. So remember what we did first with the rectangular solutions. We found a. We found a level that was the same as the previous level, and then we repeated that. So we're doing the same thing again with finding the least common multiple of the triangle and this long hexagon. Because a long hexagon is different than a regular hexagon. And we're labeling all of the all the codons on this long hexagon. Then we're moving up a level of one bigger level of triangle and one bigger level of hexagon. So you have 4 triangles to, we're having 4 triangles to a triangle and several hexagons to a hexagon. So let's see, it's 1, 2, 3, yeah. It's not terribly important. And then you can take all of these labels that are the same as these labels and label your triangles. And you've got E equals EFAA, or E equals, yeah, E equals EAAF, F equals HBBG, G equals IEEJ, H equals BFFA, I equals CIID, J equals FJJE. And then you've got more. A equals GCCH. B equals JDD. You know what? This is probably just really boring from a student's perspective. I'm gonna skip over this part. But this repeats it. It's repeating thing just like the others. Now, I think I think I'm going to, I think I'll keep going. So all 1 all 1D or 2D only work with rational multiples. But with a 3D fractal, you see, like, you can't do square root of 2 with the things that I showed you before, but now all you have to do is put it at an angle. Put it at a regular angle, and it will be a the one at the and the intentional codon at the end will be an irrational number, multiple of the dimension that you're printing on. Excuse me. Now this works because of the Pythagorean theorem, and there are irrational numbers simply in the Pythagorean theorem. "3D pixel fractometry." So now there are two layers. There's layer A. I think I edited this later. But there's layer A and layer B. Or actually, no, layer A and layer B. And here they're labeled RGBC2 and RGBC1, but they're normally, but right now in the newer versions of the Stardust printer, it's a whole 2D codon, here, and then an AB vertical codon. So this is something that I discovered somewhat on my own, but when I took material science, I made it, or I heard about it explicitly, and this is how I forget what it's called in material science, but this is how a triangular tessellation goes into a cube. You see, there's a 1, 2, 3, 4 layers, and you take the first layer just has the A, just has one, the far corner of the cube, and then you've got the next layer, which is these three corners. You've got the next layer, which is these three corners. And finally, the far corner of the cube. And this should do nicely because it incorporates that those angles that I was talking about earlier to make a cube rather than a rectangle. And this is reminding you that every layer is one atom thick, not a constant thickness. I'm gonna go back and tell you something a little bit important. When you flip the RGBC triangle, it's RGBC, but which way is it? Well, it was originally designed to just be flipped over. It was originally designed just to be flipped over, but that meant that things had to be, that means that you would have to use this codon a lot, because in order to make everything have the right chirality in chemistry, which could lead to food items being incredibly toxic and other such things, you would have to distinguish between the upside down variance and the right side up variance. Another reason why I switched to rotating instead of flipping is that if you take, or if you draw out all the, I didn't draw it out here, but if you draw out all of the rotated codons and make them expand out from here, you would see that the B comes into contact with a B here, and a B here, and a B here, and the G comes into contact with a G here, and a G here, and a G here, and the C comes into contact with the C here, and a C here, and a C here, and it's all directly out from the corners, which was the ultimate, or which was the best way to have it in the printer itself, where an electric current was to pass through all of the equivalent codons in order to release the atoms, or to ionize the atoms and release them from their carbon substrate. So this is a little bit of homework. As you see, I shared the board with some other math people. And that's where I'm going to let off for today.